Hey everybody, Jerry here from Celluloco.com. Just got back from the T-Mobile store. Picked myself up a G2. Yay! Let's have a look at, the hardware. Quick hands-on look here. Been waiting on this one for a while. I'm going to start with the battery so we can get it booted back up. First thing, that does not release the battery. That is your speaker grill. You can see the battery door. It's all aluminum. G2 and HTC etched into it with Google. The phone itself is made out of Teflon coated material and brushed aluminum, much like the Nexus. Feels a lot like the Nexus in the hand. A lot of things about this phone will remind you of the Nexus. Battery latch. Check this out, manufacturers. This is how you should do it from now on. You take that little latch, you pull it down, battery door opens up. It's got a set of little protrusions here that act as a hinge, so it's easy to put on and off. On, off, no muss, no fuss. Set that off to the side. 1300 milliamp hour battery. Not so sure what I have to think about that. We'll see how it holds up. Wish it was a little bigger. Your SIM card goes up there. Your 8 gigabyte micro SD card. It's on a little latch. You put it in there and slide the metal gate up and down to latch and lock it in place. Wish it wasn't under the battery, but how often are you going to swap out SD cards? So I won't complain too much. Let's put this back on here and get this thing booted up. And we'll take a look at everything else while it's booting. Make sure it's going to fire up here. There we go. Set that off to the side. Not going to bother with unboxing it. What comes in the box is all your standard paperwork, a wall plug. Everybody's familiar with a wall plug. Plug your USB cable into the top. The USB cable itself, nothing fancy there. If you bought an Evo or an Incredible or a MyTouch 3G slide, you've seen this. They're exactly the same. Set of earbuds. Haven't torn these apart yet. I see 3 notches, so there is a microphone on there. This is a stereo voice headset. Good to see it in the box. You can see it doesn't take too awful long to boot up. And this is what we're used to looking at, but we'll look at the software in a second. I want to take a quick look at the hardware. On the right side, you've got your micro SD card connector or micro USB connector. Not feeling the wear that's been put. I can see myself with a little bit of dirt on the thumb mashing something in there, and I don't like that one bit. I have to see how it holds up. Maybe that's something OEM or third-party covers can address. Here is your volume rocker up and down. On the back, as we've seen, there's your speaker grill. Don't know what the speaker sounds like. Haven't even signed into this thing yet. You all are seeing me play with it, for the first time here. All I did was peel the screen protector off and take the plastic off the battery so it would boot. 5 megapixel camera, and there's your LED flash that's on the back. Up top, we have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, your power button. On the bottom, all you've got is your microphone hole, and really that's all that should be there, so no problems with that. Here's what everybody's interested in, the keyboard hinge. Try to get it so you can see it here. It's not a standard sliding keyboard. It is on a 2-point hinge system. It's got a closed position, an open position. It is spring assisted somehow. It's easy to work. No real effort required. One thing that everybody else is worried about, make sure I'm not holding the keyboard here. Nothing. This one is solid. The other ones I looked at in the T-Mobile store, they were solid as well. No big hinge problems. That either got blown out of proportion or there's a bad batch of units out there, because this one, nothing. It doesn't matter, which way you do it. There is no play. You have to physically slide it to the right. If you don't, it's not going anywhere. So, no problems with that. Let's go back. It's got 7 home screens. Got a bunch of stuff on there T-Mobile's put on there. We'll look at it in a second. Hopefully a lot of it can be uninstalled. It's not quite stock Froyo. You can call it stock Froyo and nobody's going to call you a liar. There are a few changes, a few differences. We'll see those. Jump through the home screens. See the stuff T-Mobile's preloaded on it. See, it's real fluid, the movement. It's, pleasantly surprised. HTC has outdone themselves. If this gets the good battery life we all assume it will because of its clock speed, it is more than snappy. It's faster than my Nexus. It's faster than my Evo. It's faster than the Vibrant. It's plenty fast. We can put it to bed. 800 megahertz is not a problem. Let's have a look at the settings. Everybody wants to see the settings. Pretty much what we've seen, on Froyo, on the Nexus or the Droid. It's basically stock, quick keys. See, I've got that one set up. Replace assignment. Let's give it an application. Let's just pick one here. Browser. That'll work. So, quick keys. Those are those weird keys on the keyboard everybody was wondering about. Let's go back home. Snap the keyboard. Now I hit the quick key. And there is my browser. I'm not signed in, don't have GPS on or anything, but that's how that works. You can assign all 3 of the keys to anything you want. I'm sure we all can think of 3 different things that we would love a quick keyboard shortcut to get to. So, good on you again, HTC. Nice touch. If you're going to have the keys there, you have the space. You used it well this time. SD card and phone storage. Yeah, 1.21 gigabytes of available space. We were expecting more when they told us there was 4 gigs in there. T-Mobile saying that, only 1.5 is available for applications. We'll see what the hackers can do with that. Hopefully we can free up some of that. Total space on the SD card, it's got an 8 gigabyte micro SD card in there. Pretty standard, nothing fancy or fast, just your standard SD card. Here, about phone. System updates, we gotta try. No, I'm up to date. Okay, no gingerbread today. Battery use status, that's what we see everywhere. T-Mobile G2. Android version 2.2, not 2.2.1. That's a little bit too new for this device. It's your kernel, build number. Build number is release keys. Haven't heard anybody having any problem with market applications on the G2 yet. Haven't signed into the market with this one, so I don't know. Baseband. The baseband version is a little bit newer than what I was told was on some of the other units. Don't know if that's some misinformation or if maybe there was some other pre-production units that slipped out that have a lower baseband version on them. The radio on this, speaking of the baseband, it's not as good as my Nexus. I will be honest and upfront. I'm sitting down here in the basement where